Hello students, once again welcome back to your online class. I was teaching literature to the students of standard 8, that is lesson number 10 after 20 years. So, in my last video, I had taught you the first page of the chapter. Now this is page 142. Now as we saw in the last page that a policeman was doing his duty. He was having a look over the area and then he saw a man was standing leaning against the wall. Okay, so he went up to him and threw the light of his torch and he could see the face of that man. Then, "It's all right, officer," he said reassuringly. So as the light of the policeman fell on the face of the other man, he said it's all right in a manner to remove his doubts or fears. Okay, so just he at once started speaking. "It's okay, I am just waiting for a friend." And what the man said? That I am just waiting for a friend. It's an appointment made 20 years ago. And the man said that I am waiting here for my friend and we had made an appointment 20 years ago. That we had decided that we will meet here again after 20 years and today is the day. Sounds a little funny to you, doesn't it? And the man is saying that to the policeman, it's a little funny, it must be sounding, no, to you. Well, I'll explain it. Explain if you'd like to make certain it's all straight. About that long ago, there used to be a restaurant where the store stands, Big Jaw Brandy's restaurant. So, the man is telling that I'll tell you actually here where I am standing here about that long ago 20 years before there used to be a restaurant and now here is a store, Big Jaw Brandy's restaurant. Before it was a restaurant, now here is a store. So until 5 years ago, said the policeman, it was torn down then. So the policeman said that yes, and 5 years before only that restaurant was torn down and brought down and this store has been made. Now 20 years ago tonight, said the man, I dined here at Big Jaw Brandy's with Jimmy Wells, my best pal, his best friend and the finest chap in the world. So he said that about 20 years ago, today, this was the day, about 20 years ago, I along with my friend Jimmy Well had dinner, okay, had dined here in this restaurant and they dined here a Big Jaw Brandy's with, okay, that restaurant name was Big Jaw Brandy's and here we had dined and he was my best friend and the finest chap boy in the world. He and I were raised here in New York. So in New York both of us were raised just like two brothers together. I was 18 and Jimmy was 20. The next morning I was to start for the West to make my fortune. You couldn't have dragged Jimmy out of New York. He thought it was the only place on earth. Well, we agreed that night that we would meet here again exactly 20 years from that date and time, no matter what our conditions might be or from what distance we might have to come. We figured that in 20 years each of us ought to have our destiny worked out and our fortunes made, whatever they were going to be. So the man is telling the policeman that 20 years before we had decided, my best friend Jimmy and I had decided that Jimmy never wanted to go out of New York, but he's saying that I wanted to go to West and do something good in my life, but Jimmy wanted to stay back here. So we decided that we will meet after 20 years here exactly in the same place and then we will see, okay, what we have done in our life. And we figured that in 20 years each of us ought to have our destiny worked out. So he's telling that in these 20 years both of us must have done something, okay, in their life destiny worked and fortunes made. So whatever you say, according to our luck or hard work or whatever was destined by God, we must have attained it, and whatever they were going to be and whatever it had to be. So he's telling, so now I am waiting for that friend. It sounds pretty interesting, said the policeman. Rather a long time before meets, though it seems to me. Haven't you heard from your friend since you left? So he asking, such a long time, and then till then you never had a talk with your friend? Well, yes, for a time we corresponded, said the other. So he said that, well, yes, once we exchanged letters and we were in touch, but after a year or two, we lost track of each other. You see, the West is a pretty big place. I kept hustling, okay, means moving from one place to another, around over it, pretty lively. Okay, so quite often I used to go here and there, and then we were not in touch after a year or two. But I know Jimmy will meet me here if he is alive, for he always was the truest, staunchest here means loyal, very loyal, old chap in the world. He'll never forget. I came 1,000 miles to stand in this door tonight, and it's worth it if my old partner turns up. So he's telling that, but I have come here. I know that Jimmy will surely come here if he is alive, because he was very loyal, and whatever he said, he was very truthful. So he will surely come here and I'll meet here. From such a long way I have come here just to meet him. The waiting man pulled out a handsome watch. Okay, so he pulled out his watch, and that handsome watch means attractive, okay, pocket watch, very attractive. The lids of which were set with small diamonds. See in this picture. Okay, so the lids it was set with small diamonds. He took out a watch. 3 minutes to 10, so that was the exact time. Okay, he announced. It was exactly 10 o'clock when we parted here at the restaurant door. So this was exactly the time when we had parted, and I know it's already going to be 10 o'clock. Did pretty well out in the West, didn't you? Asked the policeman. So policeman is asking, you have done pretty well in the West, means say, looking at his precious watch and the diamond studded in his scarf. Okay. You bet. I hope Jimmy had done half as well. Okay, so he's telling that you have done pretty well there. Okay, you bet. I hope Jimmy has done half as well. Policeman is telling that I hope that Jimmy also must have done well. But then let's see. Okay, the man is saying. And there he's waiting for his friend to come. So till here in this video, I'll continue after this in my next video. Till then, goodbye.